What's going on, fellas? My name is Gray, and I'm going to show you how to fix a sagging door, a door that won't shut. This door right here. You can tell by looking at the top that over here on the hinge side, over on the left hand corner, the reveal is pretty tight, and then as you get closer to the strike side, the reveal at the top gets wider. And over here on the strike side, it is actually the door panel itself is hitting the frame of the door at the top there in that top right hand corner on the strike side. As you go down the strike side, the reveal gets a little bit wider until there's actually a healthy gap there at the bottom. But there's a couple of tricks that we can use to fix this situation right here. A lot of people's first thought when they see a door like this is to take the panel off and shave it down with a circular saw or a belt sander or something like that. And while that's a workable solution, it will make the door open and close a little bit better without having it hit the strike side at the top here. It won't correct your reveal at the top. And ain't nobody want to take the door panel off, drag out the sawhorses, drag out a circular saw and belt sander if they ain't got to do it. So we're going to show you a solution that is a lot simpler and faster. It just requires a drill or driver and a couple of screws in the best case scenario. Now in a worst case scenario, you might need, or in certain situations, you might need a hammer and a chisel. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. What we're going to do here is simply take out the one hinge screw from the top and the middle hinge that's currently in there and replace it with a longer decking screw. And usually when you do that, you're able to pull the panel closer to the hinge side, and it will clear up your reveal issues at the top and the bottom and help prevent your sagging issues that you got. Here's the top hinge, and you can see this is like most hinges. It's got four screws going through the hinge, and we're going to be replacing one of them. Usually it's best to replace the top screw that is closest to the center of the door frame. So it would be this one here, and then down here at the middle hinge we're going to be replacing this hinge screw right here with a longer decking screw, just to help pull that panel further and help prevent the sagging issue. I can tell by looking at these screws that they did not replace any of the screws in the hinge, and a properly installed door would you would go ahead and put the longer screw through the hinge from the very get-go to help prevent the sagging issue. Now this is a house that was built in '64, so it's 50 years old, and the house is settled, so the settling probably is part of the issue. But if you do put a screw through the hinge when you first install the door, it can help prevent the sagging to start with. Alright, let's do it. So once we've replaced these two screws, the door is operating a lot better now. The reveal at the top and on the strike side is still not very good. It's actually pretty bad, but the door is operating properly, and that's all I'm concerned about with this door. Now, if you were worried about your reveal, or if replacing the screws in and of themselves did not fix the problem. Or if you have side lights, then you might want to take your hammer and chisel out behind the top and possibly middle hinges. If you just unscrew the hinge from the door frame, we'll start at the top here. Flip the hinge back like so. You can get at it with the chisel and the hammer and remove some of that material. If you have a side light on the side, of your door, on the hinge side of your door, you're probably going to want to do this. You want to be careful, extremely careful, sticking a long screw in a door with a side light, because sometimes you can come out the window, bust a window, or you'll come out the outside of the frame. Not that I've ever done that, but you don't want to. And once you get that chiseled out a little bit, just flip the hinge back over, screw it back in. And take your door. Now, if you go to put your screws in the hinges and you tighten them down to pull the panel back towards the hinge side so it's not striking, if you have a situation where you open the door partially so it's not latched anymore, if it's wanting to spring open, that's not bad right there. That's fairly normal. But if it wants to spring open with any kind of force whatsoever, you're what's called hinge bound. And the way to correct that is just to go to your screws and loosen them up a little bit. And when you loosen them up, that should correct the problem. But if you're still hitting, you're gonna have to, if your door panel is still hitting your door frame, you're gonna have to go and remove some material from behind the hinges like we just did to help correct your problem without hinge binding yourself. That's about all I got as far as fixing a sagging door is concerned. It's pretty quick and easy, and it makes life a lot better to not have to slam the door every time you come and go. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you.